What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. Yeah, man, we're gonna finally get things on a light-hearted note. I know my last two videos have been somewhat solemn, but we're gonna keep it light-hearted today, and we're gonna talk about AEW All in London. All in London went down this past weekend from Wembley Stadium in London, site of which was also the site of SummerSlam 1992, where Bret Hart famously lost the Intercontinental Championship to the British Bulldog, and that was the all-time record for Wembley Stadium, and that stood for 32 years, I believe. And now here we are, AEW All in Wembley Stadium, sold 70 something thousand tickets without a single match being announced, and then as the card started to take shape, sold another like 30,000 tickets. So man, we were at the announced record was 81,035, but with comp tickets, it was Tony Khan, AEW president and CEO, stated that the attendance was more like 90,000 people, and that was just absolutely insane, man. And what a show it was. So let's break it down, man. Starting off with the 0 hour, or the pre-show, uh, we had Aussie Open defend the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships against Adam Cole and MJF. I'm going to be mentioning a lot of them a lot in this breakdown, and you'll see why. First, it was a tag team match, and this match came about because stemming from the Adam Cole and MJF storyline that's been going on all summer. The bromance of the summer, as AEW likes to affectionately refer to it. So they Adam Cole has turned around MJF for the better. They were paired. They were paired as tag team partners in the AEW Blind Eliminator tournament that took place earlier this summer. They didn't like each other, but through going through that tournament and getting a shot at FTR for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, kind of strengthened their bond, and they've been great ever since. And their work together has been absolutely brilliant. I dare you to find me a better storyline besides that and the WWE Bloodline storyline that's going on right now in all of pro wrestling. Uh, anyway, yeah, no. So those two challenged Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, and Aussie Open, a great team in their own right, representatives of United Empire with Will Ospreay, Jeff Cobb, Great O'Khan, and like I said, Aussie Open, and I believe TMDK is also part of that. Shane Haste and Bad Dude Tito. Anyway, MJF and Adam Cole ended up getting the win, and are your new AEW World Tag Team Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Excuse me. And like I said, that would not be the last of them that you hear in this breakdown. Anyway, moving on. Next up, you have the FTW Championship being defended as champion Jack Perry took on Hook, and the storyline here is Jack Perry turned on Hook at Blood and Guts earlier this summer, and those two have been feuding over the FTW Championship ever since. Jack Perry took it from him a few weeks later, and here we are. And now Hook is trying to get it back, and that he did. And there was a bit of a funny spot in that match where Hook attempted to. Jack Perry went for a suplex on Hook, and he shot it out to the camera, and you can clearly hear he said, "You see this? This is real glass. Cry me a river." So the story behind that is apparently Jack Perry wanted to do a spot using real glass on Dynamite in a match that he had on Dynamite a few weeks back. But apparently, some other CM Punk, some other wrestlers and backstage personnel were deeply opposed to it, and Jack Perry didn't take too kindly to CM Punk speaking on behalf of everybody and himself and everybody else. So they've been kind of in a tiff ever since, and that was kind of an indirect shot at CM Punk. And after the match that he had with Hook, which Jack Perry lost the FTW championship, it was a bit of an altercation between, allegedly, a bit of an altercation taking place backstage at shortly before All In went on the air. So yeah, I don't know what happened. There are conflicting reports, so I don't want to say what's true and what's not. I don't know until if AEW ever decides to address it, they'll address it. If not, then all we can do is just speculate. But yeah, so Hook was able to regain the FTW championship with against Jungle Boy, against Jack Perry. He didn't call himself Jungle Boy anymore. So another thing that happened on the All In pre-show, the 0 hour, was Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro. They signed the contract for their match at All Out, which is coming up in Chicago this weekend. Yeah, so they signed a contract, and of course they came to blows. They got physical with each other. Miro got the upper hand and was able to knock Powerhouse Hobbs out of the ring, and Miro was held back by security. And then I didn't see it, but the other thing of note apparently was Paul White attacked Jeff Jarrett on the pre-show. I guess maybe chokeslammed him or knocked him out, whatever it is. So that was the 0 hour, the pre-show. So now for your main course here, the All In London show itself. So first up, you had Samoa Joe taking on CM Punk for the Real World Championship. Now, you may ask yourself, what is the Real World Championship? So apparently, CM Punk never lost the world title when he was world champion. Before MJF won it as a result of him winning the Casino Battle Royal at Double or Nothing last year. And what happened was, so since CM Punk never lost it, he says, I'm the real world champion. MJF is carrying around a fake piece of gold, and I'm the real world champion. So that is kind of the storyline with CM Punk and Samoa Joe. So and they're battling it out on AEW's Saturday night show, which they're mostly exclusive to. I know CM Punk has sparsely appeared on Dynamite since Collision was launched, and so has Samoa Joe, but they're largely exclusive to AEW Collision. So that's the storyline going on over there. So and plus, before this match, they had a rivalry dating back almost 20 years. So yeah, they've been going at it for quite a while, dating back to their Ring of Honor days. So yeah, so CM Punk was able to get the best of Samoa Joe with a top rope Pepsi Plunge, which is essentially Triple H's pedigree, but just under a different name for CM Punk. So yeah, CM Punk got the win, and is still the real world champion. And then next up, you had it was a trios match or 6-man match, whatever you want to call it. So it was Konosuke Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold's Juice Robinson and Jay White taking on Hangman Adam Page and the Golden Elite, the Golden Lovers, which consist of Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. Great match. Lots of great stuff in there. I enjoyed it immensely, and Konosuke Takeshita ended up pinning Kenny Omega to get the 1-2-3, and it was announced in the AEW post-show media scrum that those two, Kenny Omega and Konosuke Takeshita, will go one-on-one this weekend at All Out in Chicago. So definitely looking forward to that. Next up, you had the third match in a classic trilogy, pitting FTR against the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Now, man, like I said, this was their first two matches were great, and this one was definitely no exception. This was definitely great. The Young Bucks came out, since they were in England, the Young Bucks came out to a version of Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, and also had the iconic yellow Freddie Mercury jacket on as a tribute to him. So that was pretty cool to see, man. As for the match itself, plenty of great stuff. FTR, classic grounded pound. Submission guys, nothing fancy, just smash mouth wrestling. Although they did pull a few tricks out of the Young Bucks book, such as Cash Wheeler doing a 450 splash, but missing. But still great stuff to see. Great, very, very entertaining match. So yeah, the FTR ended up defeating the Young Bucks with the Shatter Machine, which is their signature move. And yeah, it was a great, like I said, great match, great showing by both teams. I'm sure Dave Meltzer will be giving that 5 stars when his ratings come out, or maybe even higher. But who the hell knows? Anyway, next up was we go from one wild match to another, man. The Stadium Stampede. Okay, so now the Stadium Stampede basically is a match where anything goes, and people fight all around the arena, and Wembley Stadium is a great place to have a match like that, because you can go anywhere, and boy did these guys go any and everywhere, man. From the concourse to a suite to bar to the concession stand in the arena. They were just battling everywhere. It was Eddie Kingston, the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, Orange Cassidy, and Penta El Zero Mil taking on the Blackpool Combat Club, which consists of Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and then their partners Santana and Ortiz. The returning Santana. Santana had been out for a year and some change due to the injuries that he sustained in the Blood and Guts match in June of last year. I believe he tore his ACL, so he just came back this past week on Dynamite, and turned his back on Eddie Kingston, one of his best friends, and he's joined up with the Blackpool Combat Club, or so I think. That could be a very short-lived alliance, but anyway, like I said, there's plenty of crazy things going on here. A lot of blood, a lot of tables, a lot of barbed wire. even has skewers. I mean, John Moxley had some skewers, like hammered into his head. Man, it was a wild scene. But yeah, so Orange Cassidy ended up pinning Claudio Castagnoli with the Orange Punch to secure the win for his team in a wild stadium stampede. Uh, next up, you had the AEW Women's World Championship on the line in a fatal four-way match, pitting Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Tony Storm, hometown girl Saraya, and Hikaru Shida, who was the current AEW Women's World Champion at the time, in a matchup against each other for the AEW Women's World Championship. And Saraya, being from England, this was a homecoming for her. She said that she hadn't wrestled in England in 9 years, so I can imagine what a big night it was for her. And she brought her whole family out with her. The Knight family, very, very famed wrestling family from Britain and all over the UK. So everybody was there, and her Outcast partner Tony Storm, looked like they were going to work together in this match and try to take out the other two and to see who was the better woman between those two. But that ended up not happening. Stuff broke down pretty early. With Tony Storm accidentally striking Soraya's mom at one point, and all hell just broke loose. But Saraya actually ended up winning the AEW Women's World Championship in front of her home country and in front of her family. So congratulations to her. And if you know what she's been through, being told that she'll never wrestle again, and not stepping in the ring for 5 years, and then finally coming back last year to finally get cleared and wrestle. And this is her maybe her first title opportunity since she's been back. So, and for her to win it in front of her home country is just amazing for her. So huge props to her. Huge congratulations to all the ladies in that match, because it was a great match. So yeah, and then let's see. After that was the coffin match with Darby Allin and the legendary Sting taking on Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage. Now, it was originally supposed to be AR Fox teaming with Swerve Strickland, but AR Fox unfortunately couldn't make the trip over to London, so Christian Cage took his place, and a great match. Still crazy to see Sting, jumping through tables and doing all the stuff that he does at 52 now, I think Sting is. So Sting is still doing it, and hey, if you can still go, then more power to you. And what do you call it? No, and it was pretty damn cool to see Sting and Darby Allin walk out to the ring to Seek and Destroy by Metallica. That was pretty damn cool. So yeah, and like I said, great match. They put on a Swerve Strickland, probably one of the best in the business today. And shout out to all those guys. Christian as well. Multiple concussions in his career, and then being able to come back and work his way back from all of that, and still be going in AEW is just a sight to see, man. So major props to all those guys. And after that, man, this definitely was this next match I'm about to talk about was definitely a sleeper. Will Ospreay defeated Chris Jericho. So story here is, Will Ospreay trying to pick up the biggest win in his career, saying that he is the GOAT and that Chris Jericho was the GOAT. Now he is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And Will Ospreay has proven it on an international level. Not so much in America, but internationally, Will Ospreay is definitely one of the greatest of all time. Chris Jericho, contrary to Will Ospreay, who has been constantly proving it and reinventing himself over the last 30 years, and still reinventing himself. Um, put on a hell of a show tonight. Say what you want about Chris Jericho. That sometimes people be calling him fat and all this shit and out of shape and everything, but the man can still go, as he as proved evident tonight, man. Doing hurricane runners and everything like that. Just pulling out everything, playing all the hits, and those hits were great to see, man. Nothing looked like, oh man, maybe he shouldn't have done that. And of course, Will Ospreay, one of my favorites today, man. They don't call him the aerial assassin for nothing. This man can pretty much do anything, and make it look so good and so easy. And those two men put on a hell of a matchup. Like I said, Will Ospreay came out with the win after what's his signature move called? No, it's not. Oh, the Stormbreaker. There we go. I was drawing a blank there. Two Stormbreakers. Came up with a win, man, and one in his home country as well. Will Ospreay is from Essex, England, which is not too far down the road from London. So it was a homecoming for him for sure. Huge shout out to both of those guys, like I said. Chris Jericho actually sung himself to the ring. He played his entrance theme, Judas, with his band Fozzy. So that was pretty cool to see. In your co-main event, it was the AEW Trios Championships being defended when the acclaimed and badass Billy Gunn, not daddy ass anymore, badass Billy Gunn took on the House of Black, and that was pretty cool of the House of Black to have the lights shut all the way off and simulate the Firefly effect to pay tribute to Bray Wyatt, who tragically passed away earlier this week. If you haven't checked that, my tribute to Bray Wyatt out, please do. It's available now. So definitely, that was a very, very nice touch by the House of Black to pay tribute to Bray Wyatt. And also, I forgot to mention during the FTR match that FTR had armbands paying tribute to Brody Lee, Bray Wyatt, and Jay Briscoe, who all passed away. Jay Briscoe and Bray passing away this year, and then Brody Lee passing away in 2020. So lots of tributes tonight, and great showing by in the trios match by both teams, and the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn ended up winning the trios championships from the House of Black. So now the Acclaimed have not only won AEW Tag Team Championship Gold, they also won the AEW Trios Championships. So good for them. And then after everything was said and done, man. So it was time for the main event. Adam Cole taking on MJF for the AEW World Championship. What a back and forth match. What a beautiful storytelling. Beautiful storytelling. And that scary spot where Adam Cole kind of did a brain buster maneuver to MJF on the steel steps. That spot looked kind of scary, but thank God MJF it was okay and was able to continue the match. And the initial ending of the match was a double clothesline, which is a nod to their tag team finisher. But both men's shoulders were pinned down, and then what do you call it? So Adam Cole was asking MJF for 5 more minutes, and MJF said, "No, we're not gonna go 5 more minutes. We're gonna go till we have a fucking winner here at Wembley Stadium. We're not going out like that." And those two went another 10 minutes after that, and Roderick Strong ended up trying to help Adam Cole win the AEW World Championship, but to no avail. And Adam Cole was pretty distraught afterwards. After MJF got the win over him, and threw the Ring of Honor tag team belts down. MJF was trying to comfort him and say, hey, you put on a hell of a match and the people still love you, but Adam Cole wasn't having it, and you thought that Adam Cole was going to turn on MJF and finally attack him and say, fuck it, I had enough of this shit. But no, they ended up hugging each other, and to end the pay-per-view, and Tony Khan announced that AEW at Wembley Stadium will sort of become a tradition at the end of August, having all out London every year. It seems like it's going to be a thing every year. So they're going to be returning on August 25th of next year, and then having All Out a week later, Labor Day weekend in Chicago. So I guess that's going to be a thing now. So yeah, all in all, great show. They definitely all in definitely lived up to the hype, and was worthy of selling as many tickets as it did. Huge props to everybody that performed, everybody that was in attendance, because y'all witnessed history, and me and many others watching at home, man. I had a great time watching it. Even though it was 1 o'clock start here on the East Coast because of the time difference in London, but that doesn't bother me. But yeah, great show. I can't wait to see what All Out is going to bring this weekend in Chicago. Should be another great show. People are might say, what, you're risking it holding a pay-per-view back to back. I mean, holding a pay-per-view back to back, but if All Out is anything like All In, we're definitely going to be spoiled. Yeah, so let's see what that brings. Of course, before All Out, we have Dynamite and Collision this week. Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision, I say. So lots of AEW going on this week. Lots of wrestling in general. Yeah, and I'm here to watch it all. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for this episode of the Classic Chronicles. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss a video. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.